Hi guys, it's Ray for my third cup in the Be Kind collaboration with Butterfly Lane Designs and Glitter Fetish. I am using the black vinyl. This one is going to be a pretty simple V-split. So I'm going to apply my vinyl first. And I am going to incorporate the chunky into this one, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm going to start by removing a piece of the backer and putting it back on. And lining up my vinyl. And I'm going to leave a gap for glitter at the bottom. So. And I want this one to be the bottom because when I cut it, I did kind of mess up the point. So. This is my new squeegee that Stacy sent me from Amazon, and it is absolutely fantastic. Works like a dream. So, what I'm going to do with this is I'm just going to use the blue at the top, the blow pop. I'm going to put the green as the bottom. Actually, I might do that backwards. I'm going to do the green at the top and the blue at the bottom. And we are going to do a V of the graffiti chunky mix here. I'm going to tape it and then untape it and tape it again, if that makes sense, because I want a stripe for the graffiti glitter. So I'm going to run a line of tape along the edge of the vinyl. Okay, so now I can do my blue base and my black chunky. Excuse me, hiccups. So I'm going to use black acrylic paint. I believe this was from that Five Below set, so it is not fancy. And it might take a couple of coats. And I'm just going to pour from the bag. Normally I put them into a cup, but this has all kinds of random pieces in it, so I'm not really sure how this is going to work. just getting a glove so I can kind of pat it down some. Before I peel my tape. It's all just random shards of glitter. It's kind of fascinating, actually. I've used shards before, but I've never seen a named glitter that was made of shards, I guess you would call it. So I'm going to peel this back and see what we end up with. This is going to take a couple of coats to cover. I'm just trying to push them back. I knew this was going to be kind of messy. So for the bottom, I'm going to paint blue. Ooh, this blue is kind of chunky. Eek. And this blue is a little dark for this glitter, but it'll be okay. So that'll be the blue. I'm going to peel this tape off. So I'm going to get my blue and my graffiti cleaned up quick, and I will be back to paint in the green. Okay, so for the green, we're going to do the same as with the blue. Have a little piece of glitter in that one. This one's thinner, so this might take 2 coats. We're going to grab a clean brush. Okay, so I got distracted last night, let my paint dry out, let my brush dry out, so back to it today. There. Not too bad. There's quite a bit of the green stuck in the chunky black now, but it is what it is. Okay, so I'm ready to get a flood coat of epoxy on this. So I'm kind of starting to feel like I'm never going to finish this one. I have a ton of sanding to do on this. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. This is a regular sanding block, but I do have a piece of 150 grit wrapped around it. So I'm going to try not to get the green too much. I'm going to try, well, let me see if I'm even going to go over the black with the decal at all. I'm not, so, and I really am not happy with the way this glitter layer looks either. I got one piece of that chunky way down here that I'm going to try and sand out. Ooh. Yeah, hopefully this doesn't totally. I'm going to end up sanding the whole cup anyways because it's been so long. But I'm going to use this little harder grit on the black especially. And then I'm going to switch over to a softer grit. But I'm going to put on a mask and just go into fast mode. Let me clarify that. By mask, in this case, I'm just going to wear an N95. You can wear your full respirator if you want. I'm also going to wear safety goggles, which I have a little mic on. I'm going to have to wipe off. You do not want to be breathing in epoxy dust. You just absolutely don't. It's not healthy. I'm also going to address the rim right now quick. You can either take a blade to the top edge if you want. Into the inside rim. Work away from yourself, really, ideally. This is just one method, and I always do this prior to final coat because you want to at least have this part done before your final coat. I'm going to take the rest of my arm out, and then you can sand the rim if you're doing it this way. And I like to sand a little bit down at an angle beyond just the top rim. You don't necessarily have to reveal any actual stainless, but to make sure you get an edge where it's going to seal beyond coming over the rim. A lot of people make the mistake of thinking this needs epoxy. No. If you put epoxy on this rim with the top coming on and off, this whole sliver of epoxy will likely come right off as one ring, and it's going to cause you issues. So I do like to give it a good sanding here. My next thing I do to clean these up is I take a tiny piece of a magic eraser and acetone, which is not in here, it's out in the kitchen, so I have to go grab it. Okay, so magic eraser, a little bit of acetone. This will clean up the inside of the cup beautifully. You don't want it running down the outside too much because it can soften up your epoxy or mess up your tumbler. That's why we do this prior to our final cleaning, because if you let it drip down, it's going to make a dull spot on your epoxy. There's just no other way around it. That's what it does. So and this will let you see if you have any other little spots that need addressing. You're still going to wash this thoroughly when you're done. But you'll be able to tell if your cup is clean. So there we go. That is one way of cleaning the rim. It's the easiest way, really, in my opinion, and the least scary way. If you're comfortable with tools, this is my big beast of a rotary tool, and I'm not going to fire this up right now. Our air quality is so bad right now, and this kicks up a lot of epoxy dust. But if you're comfortable with tools, you can use what is called a flap wheel. It's got a bunch of flaps of sandpaper. This one happens to be 120 grit, and this one is the actual Ryobi brand. You can get them anywhere though, and this one is a pretty new wheel, so it doesn't have a groove gouged in it. But you can run this along the edge, and this is going to be, it's going to very quickly reveal that little stainless line. It's going to be loud, it's going to be noisy, it's going to send chips, not chips, but dust flying. And you're going to want to be super careful with it because it's easy to slip. So if you're comfortable with tools and using a rotary tool, this is an excellent, fast way of cleaning your edges and your rim. But it's not for everyone. I don't do it all the time. Largely because it's just loud. That's it. I'm going to grab some alcohol in a second here. I'm going to use my desk vac to pick up all this little dust particles. Alright. Just going to wipe my hand off quick. So I'm just going to wipe it off with alcohol. I don't really like to take it out and wash it with Dawn. I find I get more repelling when I wash it at the sink than if I just wipe it down with alcohol. So yes, it looks dull. That's kind of the point. But when you get it wet, if it looks shiny, you're good. But since I'm not really happy about this green anyways, I think I'm going to go ahead and tape this off and add a whole nother layer of green using Mod Podge. So I'm going to get a coat on this cup. I honestly can't remember if I've sealed this glitter at this point. I'm just going to throw the coat on, and if a little bit of the green travels, so be it, because I'm kind of reaching the point where I've had enough. Just every once in a while you get a cup that you can't get done. This is one of them. So I am going to go ahead and put a tiny bit of the touch of neon in here just because there's so much moved as it is that I feel it's necessary at this point. So tiny bit. And then if any of the glitter does travel, it's going to kind of blend in with what I'm already doing. So okay, I'm going to get the decal on here. And hopefully the pinstriping, and hopefully be done with this cup. So I'm going to line the point up with the point like I've been doing. Seems to be working best with these decals. Scrub it down. And I have no idea what color I want to pinstripe. I go with this blackish one. Blackish steel gray, whatever. And I think I'm gonna do these first. So there we go. Finally, we're gonna take this over and get a coat of epoxy on it and be done with it. Hooray. Okay, so I am mixing up my epoxy and we're just gonna get it on. No extra additives in this coat or anything. Everything is cleaned up and sparkly, and I am pretty happy with it overall. So okay, so this one is finally done. The third in the Be Kind series. The collaboration of Butterfly Lane Designs and Glitter Fetish. I will admit the graffiti glitter was very difficult to work with, but it was worth it because it looks really cool when all is said and done. But that is it. The black version of the vinyl, the decal, and the 3 glitters from Glitter Fetish's pack that I used on this one, which finishes up using all of the 7 glitters that came with the collab pack. So links will be down below. That is it for these, and I will see you in the next one.